Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a War of Rights public match for you on the Smith Field. Before we get into that, thank you to our Patreon members for the support. If you'd like to support, go to the link in the description where you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. So it is March 14th at about 10:10 p.m. Eastern Time. As you can see, they upped it to 500 players, which is insane. Right now we're at 460. Last round got up to 500 on Crossroads, and as you can see, that number is going up. In balance is 1-3 to the CSA side. That'll keep fluctuating. Artillery-wise, a lot. Union have 17. Confederates have 13. So as of right now, it's roughly a 4-man infantry in balance as those numbers kind of figure out since auto balance is on pubs. Anyways, co-commentating with me today, we have Gamer. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm the Gamer. I run the 1st Texas, part of a larger regiment known as the Banners. We're the only War of Rights regiment with a cult, and we're the only War of Rights regiment with a cult where the figure of the cult, the figurehead, Zapstar, doesn't know about it yet. And when he does, I'm sure he's going to tell me, "You started a bloody cult about me and didn't tell me?" That's the best I can do for his
I'm gonna send
voice.
this video to him, or this live stream,
Oh,
and I'm gonna
gosh.
upload it. But anyways,
Yeah, he'll...
before we get into strategy, Smithfield, USA has the 19th Indiana with the Springfield 61. They also have the 8th Ohio with the Springfield 55 and the 61. Whereas on the CSA side, both regiments have the same weapons, that being the 8th Texas and 14th Tennessee. They both have the Springfield 55, the Enfield, and the Springfield 42. So they have Buck and Ball. However, with the latest update, Buck and Ball is not as good as it used to be. Still good, I would say. But with that being said, Gamer, what's your opinion on the strategy of this map?
I think it's very interesting, first of all, that there's no CSA on the left side. They've all gone center, and they've brought another company up to the right side. So it looks like they're going to fight it out over this central hill. And I think for CSA, I think they want to take advantage of the fact that they can't handle the sustained rifle fire coming from the hill, coming up top of the hill, and firing down into them. I think Union is rightfully going to play on top of this hill and plans to play on top of this hill. But CSA has decided, hell no, we're going to contest you for this hill. We're going to play over this position. They can prairie dog up and down, and Union's going to have to play that game.
So
Looks like on the right, on the east side here, it looks like a charge just happened. A Union win. They took those guns. Bradley, looking at the artillery, imagining his days as an artilleryman.
yeah, CSA starting to play a little aggressive here. Don't know the ticket imbalance per se. We know Union has a fair amount more. I don't remember if this was one of the maps that got a ticket decrease. CSA also charging into Union artillery as well. What a start. You know, a lot of Union haven't moved out of their main spawn yet. They're all
Yeah, Union
now.
artillery has been charged on both sides. This center regiment is isolated and alone, and you can see the dead bodies on the ground. They're being cut apart from 3 sides by this new accurate rifle fire. There's a group that's on the road that's trying to contest this leftmost CSA group, but it's not enough. There's not enough of them, and they don't have the cover compared to that wood pile, compared to the tree, the concealment. They just don't have the cover.
Did you
And you can see the dead bodies prove that.
to make a note, a Union officer, so Union's quick timing with half their team out of main spawn, a Union guy quick time in front of the officer, and the officer capped him.
Dude, Krusty Jam is over there. It's Model Heart and Cornwallis. So typical Union officers here for a pub on tonight. Kind of the usual people.
Thank you for reminding me of that. Got too excited. CSA officers, you have the Proud Virginian, you have Big Sexy, you have Pie Man, you have Remix. For the artillery, you have Force Grump and Sorry. Whereas on the Union side, you have Model Heart, Cornwallis, I don't know how to say that, Will MDGN, Krabby Brew, and for the artillery, you have Phoenix. So thank you. And we're at 500. We're at 500 now.
We're at 500.
We're at 500.
We hit 500. Oh my gosh, that's unbelievable. So Cornwallis's group has now made their way up and is starting shooting. Cornwallis already with 27 downvotes.
That's impressive. We got to get that to 500.
Look, that's just normal for Cornwallis. You ever play the college football game that just recently came out with the stadium pulse? Cornwallis is usually about halfway in the stadium pulse at the start of the round. And as the round goes on, that pulse goes up if things don't go so well for the Union. So we'll see if we get a new officer, but, you know, I think Cornwallis can pull it out. I think the pressure helps him. CSA has pulled back significantly. They've taken those early gains, those early advantages in tickets, and now they're pulling back, and they're using this big hill as a defilade.
Yeah,
And they're
Union.
rallying and reforming.
Union was trying to have a cool moment. Unfortunately, though, tickets in the battle don't care about your cool cinematic moments, and they paid the price. The biggest question, though, is Union can use this cornfield, and they're just not going in it. I don't know why they're not. I know CSA is Buck and Ball. Buck and Ball's a little nerfed.
They shouldn't be using buck and ball. If they're smart, they've got rifles, but I don't think that has percolated down to the pub players yet. People don't read patch notes like I do.
Now, not like I've played with it, but I would almost use buck and ball, just because even at shorter distances, it's still nice. And even if you slightly damage someone, I still think it's fine. For those of you who don't know, it shoots like a shotgun. So there's a main shot and then a lot of pellets with it. And those pellets past 33 yards do not kill someone. They will just damage them. So, let's say they get hit by a pellet past 33 yards. Once they get into a melee, they're one stab, basically. But, I mean, Gamer, what are your thoughts?
Oh, they're in the corn right now. There's about to be a corn melee going on right here.
Here we go.
Corn melee about to happen. Wojman leading them right into this CSA line.
CSA
they don't see him.
They didn't realize that this was inbound.
Proud Virginian has not said a word. He's mewing. Okay, now he's said something. Okay, they are holding it. I'll give them that.
They will win that, yeah.
But they haven't picked their flag back up, and Union is going to be spawning main, but we'll see.
Oh.
See what happens. So my thoughts on buck and ball versus rifles.
Yeah.
Anyone who thinks buck and ball is still good, I would recommend going to the drill camp, see how accurate the rifles are. They're incredibly accurate, especially at close range now. You can no longer get messed up by that close range spread with the cone. The other thing is 33 yards is incredibly close. When it was 50 yards, it was a little different. Or 40 yards, my apologies. It was a little different. Now, with rifles being so much better and buck and ball being worse than what it previously was supposed to be, and I know it was bugged from 40 yards. It was bugged back up for like the last 6 months. They had some kind of bug where buck and ball wasn't actually nerfed. But now that buck and ball is absolutely worse than it was previously, pre any kind of nerf, and rifles are so much better. I feel that taking a rifle, you just get many more opportunities, and the close range effectiveness decrease is lessened. As the rifle is incredibly accurate, even at close range.
Yeah, it's funny now. You can't say. Well, you can 100% say skill issue now if someone misses a shot versus there was the spread and all of that. So
I remember missing like 10, 20-yard shots with a rifle because the rifles were just not as effective. They had that big cone spread, and I don't know if we've seen yet if it's gone too far when it comes to the changes to the rifles. We'll sit on this. We'll think about this if they're too accurate or not. But for now, they're pretty accurate, I have to say.
In the few matches I've watched so far, which I watched 5 yesterday, I saw an event today, so 2 rounds, and then a little bit of the previous round. It's much more enjoyable to watch because the charge meta for the past year has been very, very, very good in this game. Now shooting is really, really, really good, and so both things are really good. Charging's obviously nerfed with this update, but it has its place with the quick flag respawns. So I don't know. I think it's been enjoyable to watch, and I think this is great. Anyways, Union has started to push up because CSA has fallen back.
CSA is falling back. That's to be expected. They've took that middle ground. They took advantage of it. They enjoyed it. And now it looks like we're going to have a meeting at the corn. CSA is perfectly poised here to spot this approach by Will Midgham's company. And when his company is visible, Proud Virginian is going to give him a full volley. And it's not going to look good. They're moving slowly. They're moving slowly. Oh, they're moving right into him. Oh, that's a murder. That's a murder. Leo the Gamer going down. I'm sorry, Leo the Gamer. I'm the only gamer. I am the gamer.
He is the gamer. But CSA probably pulled back because they're not getting that ticket lead that they want anymore. And that's probably because the whole Union team actually started fighting. CSA is going to hold that well. Union went forward pretty bad. But
yeah, Remix has his guys sitting in a pretty nice defilade here. They're only able to engage the guys on the right, which is good because the guys on the left can't see him. And that's 2 companies nearing 3 now on that far left side, CSA far left side. And that's not really good to be in a position to be getting shot at by them. If they can shoot at the artillery from distance, that's fine.
CSA charging into the corner.
Yardy can take up. Oh, corn charge
They're
now.
trying to get that flag down.
Very good by them. See, I don't think the charge meta is going to be dead, because that's the only way to occupy ground that the enemy is holding.
Yep.
It's very difficult to shoot another line to pieces with just how with flags work, even with additional accuracy. Unless you're, say, 20 feet between the two of you. And maybe that's where buck and ball comes into play. But when it comes to charges as well, the most important thing to understand is that charging is fun. And when you're watching a pub round, you want to have fun. And when you're playing in a pub round, you want to have fun.
You come on the games to play, have fun.
It goes down and like 25 people are flagged.
No, I'm going to be honest, I treat this game like a job.
I mean, the amount of hours that we probably put on the game, you could almost describe it as that. But Union's
I think about this in my mind like work. Like running a War of Rights regiment for me is like work.
I mean, it's gonna cancel.
Let's take.
It's like I need to have meetings.
Let's take the famous quote from streamers and be like, "It's harder than a 9-to-5 job." I'm kidding.
Running a War of Rights regiment is harder than a 9-to-5 job. I don't know how people in a 9-to-5 could do this. I truly don't. It takes immense skill. Now it looks like the CSA is back to a more traditional, typical setup. There is that company on the CSA right that is a little more pushed up, but it looks like that the other 3 companies here, Model Hearts Company and Cornwallis's company, just haven't noticed. They don't really see off to the side of them, hey, there's another company here that you could be shooting into the side of. They're going to get the opportunity to shoot it out with the arty and with the skirmishers who are in the arty.
CSA's kind of held back here, and Union's just taking their sweet time. They don't want to get over aggressive and then pay the price with a volley. But
Cornwallis has lost 2 down votes. He's doing good this round.
he's gaining vote. He's unvoted.
Yeah. Proud Virginian has 24. Joseph D right next to him, 19. Man, people downvote him. Big Sexy with 14. Okay.
I mean, I have like 9 or 10.
How does Eagle have downvotes? Oh, you don't even play the game.
I'm not.
We're getting downvoted as a spectator. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's the best part. You don't have to worry about.
Oh my God, that line just got turned into mist. Model Hearts line just got obliterated. Sergeant J Rock of the 1st Maryland, one of the few survivors. The entire middle of that line is gone.
If only I saw that. I could still say artillery's bad.
Oh, the entire middle of that line. Oh my God, it just happened again.
Is this
Eagle,
the
it's a
CSA
murder.
group on the far east side of the map?
Oh,
or?
they're charging up now, but
okay.
they're not in a
I've
good
not been
position
looking
because
at
they're
these
getting shot from the side. I mean, they're going to take these caissons. If they can take advantage of this caisson cover, they have a great opportunity, but there's another group on the side. What are these guys doing? There's a bunch of people without any kind of tags who are just standing in a line. Do you see this, Eagle?
Where?
In the back. Oh, Will Midgen's guys. Oh, now he's leading his guys up. Okay. Back in the north, there was just a group of guys with Leo the Gamer in front of them. I think they were confused.
CSA's pushing up in the corner. They're about to get a beautiful flank on the Union line. That's quick timing out.
Beautiful, beautiful flank. There's another charge going on this other group to the east on the caissons.
Dude,
The caisson group is fighting against this charge, but this is 2 groups coming from 2
I'm
sides.
shocked CSA pushed this far forward. Uh-oh, there's a little lag. Hello there.
That's very aggressive, very forward.
The thing is, too, is that Union's not dealing with a significant amount of ticket loss on the CSA, and
Time is dropping. 15 minutes for one morale stage is not super fast.
no. In my opinion, though, generally at the beginning of the round, 5 minutes to kind of set up and start your round. So I say you want to get the defender down to engage by 30, but the real thing is taking losses by the 20-minute mark. So.
And Hendershot of the 6th LA in 2 Corps, a classy man. Right next to him is, of course, Major Archer of the 2nd Corps, another classy man. They've both gotten the flag out. That's what's important. Get that flag out. Yeah, they lost a pretty sizable amount of tickets for that move, but they got the flag out. And now, CSA is in an excellent position because they have the entire corn, they have that whole fence, and they have side shots at the Union. And Union now has some difficulties getting to their arty on one side, and also doesn't have a lot of great ground to stand on to get into a shot boot out with these men in cover and concealment.
It's fascinating. Union's doing a lot of quick time. I don't know if they're doing it because it looks cool or if they're doing it to try to keep their line organized, but a lot of quick timing from Union.
I see 8 to Sergeant Longstreet in Cornwallis' line. That's a shout out. He needs to unban Centurion from, or not unban, untime out Centurion from the Worldpix Discord. We need more greets. Millions must be told good morning.
Hey, if you love to be told good morning, join the Battleline Network Discord, which is in the description, and you'll get your daily greets. It's beautiful things.
I was warning everybody there's a storm coming.
Uh-oh.
And I think that's what happened. I think that's what took him out.
Okay, how good is your PC that you have?
It's decent.
How well is your game running?
It's running pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty decent FPS. Probably slightly lower than normal. Probably
As
a
you would
good 10 or
expect.
20 frames lower than normal. But when I'm spectating, I usually have lower frames in general because you
You're
can see
loading it
so
a lot
much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've kept mine at 30. That's just
Yeah,
to help
but I
with my
mean-
PC in general.
You know, at about 60-ish, 50, 60 frames a second. Not bad at all, to say the least.
Oh, that's very good. Union's trying to get a flank around Krabby Brute, trying to do something. And
But the CSA is here. They know about him. Big Sexy knows. He says V-Core. I'm coming for it. Oh, it's a fight. It's a brutal
CSA
melee. But it
retreating.
looks like some of CSA is retreating. They're not standing their ground.
And Union's going to be able to get a nice, good chunk of skirmishing out of
Nice. Good chunk of kills for the Union. And there's other... They're not sounding the alarm to these other guys on the fence that they need to move. Because the charge is coming. Oh no, I heard he
The
was
storm
shouting.
is coming.
Was-
Run away.
Exactly. He was shouting the alarm.
See it? Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, a Union company, it looks like a smaller one's trying to push up on CSA Arty, but they are outnumbered, but they're distracting a fair amount of CSA. One CSA flag.
Let's see
down,
how many
however,
team
for-
kills happen when these guys run back into the line. No team kills. No team kills. Interesting. Looks like a lot of CSA guys sitting on this corn fence. If Union continues to charge this, which they are doing, this is not going to be good for Union.
They have to charge. It's hitting to a point in the round where they don't have time. When I watch
In the corn, maybe not, but that middle group maybe could get in this middle section of the map, take
Yeah.
advantage of those rocks, and
It is
fire
okay.
down the side. Charging that corn when CSA is there is murderous.
I watched a Otto and Sheriff round yesterday, and Union sat and shot for half the round. It wasn't working. They decided to charge for the rest of the round. They caught back up on tickets and won. It was beautiful. Union's got to start doing that, and it looks like Union's shifting from the center and going through the corn. It provides them that visual barrier, but CSA is there. As Gamer mentioned, they could have pushed up in the center, but, I mean, they have a log and some rocks there, but not a whole lot. And Union maybe trying to outflank CSA. CSA shifting, though, on Union.
They're going to hit a wall of iron when they make it here. Krabby Bert's still running. Of the 5th NC, Old Jack Hinson. He was here. He's here. He's on the leftermost side of the line. And they're still going. They're still going even further.
I mean,
Let's see if
CSA
they can make this jump.
CSA can see the Union flags, which
They
is
can
probably
see
where
the
they
flags moving. They should be moving. Oh, they are moving. Virginia is taking his men back. Looks like they're going to try to meet him in the rocks.
should. And CSA
Big
adapting
Sexy already up
perfectly.
on the road.
Yeah, perfect adaptation here from CSA, trying to use that snake fence with rocks as cover, shifting to where Union at. I wonder if
Cornwallis
Union
is
can
about
keep
to
going.
meet his... Oh, no, he doesn't meet an enemy. He pulls back. He almost got shot in the face, but he pulled back.
CSA leaking down the hill a little bit. Their officers are like, no, 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 no.
The officer is dead. Big Sexy has fallen.
Dude,
So they were previously up on that snake rail fence, but now that they're no longer at it, they've sort of spread it along these rocks.
CSA,
That can be ineffective.
CSA's starting to inch down at least through the corn. They're charging through the corn.
Through the
trying to
corn, they're
encircle
charging
Union.
out those Union Rambos, and it looks like they're going to try to sweep up through the corn, hit those guys from the back.
Union, meanwhile, on the opposite side, charging up the hill.
Union going up the hill, CSA going down
Two
the hill.
Union flags down. Trusty watching in awe. Can't do. He's not using his dev powers to help him win.
Trusty is seeing how little the server is crashing, how fine the
Don't
performance
jinx it.
is, and he's saying one word: 500. And you might say that's 2 words. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm the gamer. I had a little gamer moment.
Gamer moment. So, charge ends, CSA, great hold from them. Tickets are even, which is great for Union. Union lost 2 flags. I still think they're in bounds, though, so they have a 5-minute despawn timer on them. So, after those 5 minutes, they'll despawn, and they can get it back if they want, but Union pushed on the opposite side towards the east side. It wasn't a whole lot. They were just kind of engaged in a shootout. They got pushed off, but...
Once these CSA guys down near the corn realize, oh, there's Union between us and spawn, they're going to go get that.
Sorry.
Krabby Bird is kind of leading his men, and in some ways on what will not be a charge they will recover from, wherever they end up.
They are losing that flag unless they go across the other side.
They're going to the other side. Maybe they'll make it out. Who knows? I don't know what exactly they're doing.
I think they're trying to go out the other side because that's the only.
I think they're trying to go out the other side, but there's Union on that side. Maybe they'll make their way out.
And CSA sees them.
There's CSA following.
Well, okay. So all things considered, Union's starting to pick up the pace. Both sides are losing tickets at a very even rate, which is good to see, at least from an attacker's perspective.
This is how you adapt to the ever-changing battlefield.
Oh, they're so back.
I mean, I feel like there's 50 people right now watching the ever-changing battlefield change. 50 people who can't get into the server.
I mean, are we at 500 or 492?
We're at 500. We're at 492. But I was having issues getting in where it was like, timeout to get in. So I think with how many people trying to join, I think there's some issues with
that's another thing, is that if we get these like 500-man servers and there's one active server, I wonder if someone is going to try to wait to get into that big server versus just try to seed another server. I wonder...
Wait to get into the big server will ultimately become the thing everybody does.
They should add a queue system. That would be the next best thing.
The way that the queue slots would work, I worry that would take away 6 spots for people to get in, if that makes sense. But there's been I don't know. You have a computer science degree. I have a history degree, Eagle. You know better than I.
No, I mean, anyone can have an opinion on a queue system for if that's a good idea for this game.
I don't know how feasible I don't know if it takes up slots, but it looks like this group this group in the woods, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I'm lucky I know how a computer works. It looks like these Union group on the CSA right getting charged. Pretty small group. If they stand their ground, they're going to be able to hold this. As First Lieutenant Pro Gamer, another gamer in here, is fighting it out. He stabbed 2 people. Oh, he's getting the 3rd stab. 3rd kill for Pro Gamer. Oh, he's going crazy. 4th kill. Enemy doesn't even... Okay, they took him out.
I mean, these gamers are built different.
The gamers really are built different. The flag's coming with them. CSA was trickling in initially, but Union's going to lose this. Flag has got to run out of bounds. They're so close. So close. Now he's out. Pilot Men of the 6th Ohio going down. I played with Pilot Men 2 hours ago.
Oh, is it out of bounds?
I
think it is.
I believe it is out of bounds. So just barely. Just barely.
15-20 second despawn if it is out of bounds. So that Union group that charged behind CSA, they're kind of sitting reforming. Meanwhile, the rest of the Union that died came from main spawn. They picked up the flags that were down, or they despawned and brought them back, and they're charging.
They're fighting on the left. Big left fight. And it looks like CSA says, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because they're going through that corn again. And USA has not getting a chance to get around on the side. Proud Virginian is standing strong with his pistol. I've seen him kill 2 people. Let's see. Oh, another kill. Another kill. Good job. Good kills for CSA. Taking advantage of some skills with the pistol there. He's out of ammo. He's got the sword.
Union flag still up in the corner. One of them is down. I think it's out of bounds. No, it was barely in bounds, but someone picks it up.
Barely in bounds. He picked it up and is running it back in, and he's running it back in right into a CSA guy.
Oh, he gets out.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. The CSA guy walked right by him. He didn't even see him.
Wow.
It was a miracle for the Union.
Anyways.
The other flag has despawned, so they're going to have control of their flags.
No, 2 flags retreated out of there, unless there was a 3rd one I didn't see.
So the 1 flag's respawning, 2 flags retreated.
Right.
Here's the 3rd flag.
It's on the opposite side. It's the group that went behind.
Opposite side.
And they're starting to engage the CSA. The thing is that Union at this point is kind of spreading out its attack in different areas, and it's keeping the CSA on their toes. But the issue is that Union is kind of consistently outnumbered wherever the fighting is happening, and it's making it difficult for them to break through. However, all that matters in the end is the tickets, and right now Union is up by like a fourth of a stage. So, all great things for Union right now, which is surprising. Because again,
Bradley commenting, never seen USA get into the woods behind our spawn. They're way back there, LOL. Interesting, very interesting. Perhaps there will be a change to the boundaries. Because I don't think he likes that. But yeah, they're actually very deep. I didn't realize they could get that deep. Look at that. They're like, look how deep they are. Right side to the east, go southeast of Point, and you'll see two big Union groups.
Yeah. One of those groups was there in the shootout, but there was another group that rolled up on the side of that group that was deep. That's what you were talking about, I think. I don't know how deep.
Yeah, they're very, very deep. I see a familiar face, 10th U.S. Sergeant Major Doc Guerriere. I've seen Doc Guerriere at the Sunday events. He's the guy who runs 10th U.S.'s Sundays. Wonderful guy, I gotta say. Classy man. Very classy man.
So,
And he has a radio voice. You gotta get him on here.
radio voice.
He's the guy who does the regulars. Regulars on the right. It's very, very distinct.
We'll have to get him on then.
I'll tell him on Sunday. I'll say you gotta go on the Eagle Line Network.
The Eagle Line Network. That's what we're
Exactly.
ELN. That doesn't roll off the
The
tongue
Eagle
that
Line. He's battling live on the Eagle Line Network.
well. So.
Pretty good shootout here in these woods for the Union.
Look at Union
CSA.
Union splitting up into two different groups, which I don't know. I mean,
Very-
they're working. Well, their strategy.
Very interesting. I mean, I think there's some considerations for the center, but they're going to go center and right, very far right. I think they're going to be able to break through CSA because CSA is moving off that what is Union right, their left, and with Union groups in the back and CSA having to fight what is not a good fight for them. CSA it does not have any cover, they don't have any concealment, and the USA has plenty of that. So rightfully so, CSA is pulling back. There's a lot of dead bodies. A lot of dead boys in gray.
The Union group moving in the center of the map, their officer got blown up by the artillery, and everyone started freaking out. That was beautiful. That Union group. in the corn-
Remix pulling his men back as the Union is about to crest through the corn.
Yeah, CSA,
Formation tells his men to stop, and he's going to look.
CSA
And he doesn't see anything. Pilot Man did not listen to the words "stay in the corn." Come on, Pilot Man.
CSA is about
Come
to
on,
hit
man.
breaking. Once they do that, they can cap the point and win, and that's why I think CSA is starting to fall back a little more, give up that ground, because they're trying to play the time game. At this point,
You got 15 minutes.
I don't know if CSA can play the time game. They need to try to play for tickets, but they're down almost a third of a stage, so it's going to be difficult. But granted, if they keep,
And
Union's got to play aggressive.
I think that shootout they got into with the Woods, which had been going on for longer than we noticed, I think that ended up being a little bit of a ticket trap for them.
Yeah.
Now there are groups that are standing out in the open that they can get shots on, but once you lose access to these fences, access to the caissons as they have now, access to those woods and control of those woods, you only got 4 rocks to stand on and a tiny little tree.
So
I'm counting the rocks to make sure it's 5 rocks, Eagle. Ignore that. You only got 5 rocks and a tree.
this ticket gap is growing in Union's favor. I think I'd agree with the Union in the woods just being able to harass. You've seen it on maps like Dunker Church, for example, where if you're CSA, you can't let Union get behind you in the woods. That is the worst thing that can happen on Dunkers outside of losing as CSA. And Union was able to kind of do that, and CSA never threw them out like they have for most of the round. So
Yeah, I've never seen Union take control of these woods. Now, granted, I usually end up playing on the left side of this map, but I've never seen Union take advantage of those woods like that. This was definitely excellent for the Union to take those woods. And now with IBs, Wilmington emerging from that corn, CSA doesn't fully see it. Proud Virginian's looking the other way, and it looks like coming behind him is a group of Yankees.
you know,
That's not going to be good.
when I did that 24-hour stream, I should have done it on today. I should have waited.
Yeah,
for
Bradley
that
with a
update there.
cannon right now. He should be loading. He should be loading. Oh no, he's shot in the head. He should be loading canister and aiming it at that big Union line there, but I don't think he was.
You got a couple
He can get into
charges.
arguments with people about artillery swords another day. He did not draw his.
So CSA hit breaking. CSA collapsing on the edge of point. They're still trying to hold back to avoid the ticket loss to play that game, but Union's pushed up on the artillery. Meanwhile, looking at the corn, CSA are still... They're trying to get on the flank of Union, get a Union flag. They've gotten one so far. Remix with a nice little flank there. They're starting to go up and over, and they're going to try to charge into that. Union flag bearers running away from his friendlies into the CSA line.
CSA back in the corn, coming out of the corn and hitting
Yeah.
a charge on that little group that's out on the cannons for the Union. If they can even out the tickets a little bit, if they can spend this time that they have when they're breaking, which they get a pretty good amount of time, getting that ticket gap closer. All these new drill camp maps, it is a very far run from spawn when you are final push. We saw it, if you were a fan, as I am, because I was playing
Union
in it,
charged out in the woods.
well, the big charge coming in.
Tiny charge.
Oh, not a big charge.
Yeah, CSA trickled in there. They have more moving in, but that was a bad waste of tickets.
Moving in, but yeah, that's the opposite of what they wanted to do. Don't waste tickets, and then they wasted a little bit of tickets.
Bradley was
But
going
if
to
you
try to
were-
charge him.
Looks like the caissons have been taken by Cornwallis and the men from the Union. Cornwallis and Model Heart.
They're capping
They're both
point, too.
together, and their capping point.
The Union group on
You're-
the other artillery got wiped. They lost their flag.
When you're on like the wheel of the caisson, when you're fully up to the wheel of the caisson, you are capping on this map. So they have a decent number of guys who are in cap zone. And for CSA, they've got a bunch of guys huddled on these rocks, but they just don't have the same position, and there's nobody for CSA in a position to maybe come around from the side or from behind and charge those guys out from the caissons.
So CSA will have to charge Union
Looks
in a
like
second.
coming from their side, Pie Man.
Yeah, he won that charge in the woods.
And it looks like Union rightfully is pulling back. Oh, Cornwallis maybe not pulling back.
No, they're circling around to meet the CSA. Or trying
Just
to
tell him,
charge
get on the line, get on the line. A very frantic request to get on the line, but Pie Man has already slipped his guys into those caissons, and Model Heart went the other way, so I think this for Cornwallis will be a how many can you take with you? And they're going to need to take a lot with them.
CSA's down half a morale stage and breaking already.
Well, they are taking a lot with them. My God, these new rifles have certainly killed many CSA soldiers in that charge.
Union about to hit breaking. They do. The question is, where are the Union flags? Which they have one down to the east-southeast side. They have one down by the corn. That's been down for a few minutes already. So Union only down 2 flags right now. One flag has gotten back to the center of the map. CSA might charge out on that to maybe get it down. I don't know. And then
The thing is,
one Union flag despawned.
if this was an event, what Union should be doing is they should all go to that big hill, and they should spend the next 3 minutes reloading and actually probably the next 5 minutes, just reloading and shooting, trying to get the tickets down as much as they can, and getting their flags back, and then making aggressive action. Because it's a little under half of morale stage for CSA, and Artie's going to drop that lower, as it just did 2
Oh my
beautiful artillery
goodness.
shots. Oh my God, bathed in the
I
blood
saw that in the
of
distance.
so many.
But, wow.
I'm about to, like, if that Artie keeps going off like that, I'm about to hear a God is good coming from one of those CSA soundboards.
So CSA is pushing out a little bit. I don't know why they're pushing out now. You got some combat by the corn. Will tried to push up to get that flag, that down flag up, and it looks like they did. They're going to get in a shootout. But yeah, no, I agree. Union just needs to sit back. You got a lot of time. You're up by a lot of tickets. Just bring the CSA down to the last stand and shoot them out. Don't try to get... You have the lead. Don't do something risky like a charge per se, and chance CSA dominating on that and, you know, getting a ticket lead. The chance of that happening, very, very, very small, but it's a lot higher of a chance compared to if you just sit back and shoot.
And another thing that has reversed since the beginning of the round is the downvotes. Proud Virginian up to 25, Cornwallis down to 23. 23 downvotes.
Wow.
He's much lower than
It's
he sometimes is.
So that just reminds me, there's a river crossing match I watched, which I want to see 500 players on that. Players would probably not like that, but the whole CSA officer corps got downvoted for that round because they lost. For those of you who don't know what river crossing is, it's just you charge across either a pontoon bridge or a railroad bridge, and there's no way to spread out in the charge. You just get completely volleyed over and over. And after CSA lost that round, not like you can do much as an officer, but they lost, and all the officers got demoted. And CSA's charging in the corn.
Beautiful, beautiful charge. So beautiful. They are taking up the last of their tickets with these kind of decisions. But when you have an opportunity like this, you have to take it to try to even out those tickets.
You gotta get flags, too.
You gotta get flags, you gotta eat that flag down, because the longer that flag is down, when you're in this kind of position, when you're in crunch time, you need to keep these flags down. Because USA tickets will drop when the melees start, when they're fighting over point. The tickets will drop. But for them, if they don't have the flag, that's a long run back from spawn. Battle might be over by the time you run back from spawn.
So, Union team is doing exactly what you mentioned, Gamer. They're spreading way outside of the corn. They're spreading way out, and they're just shooting the CSA in the center. One company for CSA pushed up. They're being shot to crap, and their officer's down, but the flag's starting to run back. And they're about to hit last stand. Wow. This was good. What a game.
This was a good game. I gotta say, a little bit of back and forth. It wasn't a stomp by either side. Excellent work by the officers involved. And it's good to see. It's good to see people who you don't usually see leading in pub. I mean, this is some usual people certainly, but some of these people you don't normally see leading in pubs.
So what do we got?
So it seems that these 500 player servers. It seems that this ballistics update has brought a lot of people back to the game. Some old heads, I should say.
The question is, will it keep people here? That is the million-dollar question.
I always say for updates to this game that the devs, every time they release an update, buy themselves about 3 months until people start going, hey, we need an update, or we're not playing anymore. And usually in 3 months they drop an update.
There's a company to the right. There's a company to the right.
I mean, they were exactly 3 months after the previous update. Almost exactly. A week shy, I should say.
So
A comment from a gentleman in the chat, in the in-game chat, in the spectator chat. My problem with it isn't the size of the server, but it's the unbridled autism of too many people pouring over. Valuable words. That could be a reason why we maybe need an extra company. If we get an extra company, we need to get an extra cavalry company.
CSA at last stand.
CSA at last stand. This is when, for them, those 6 minutes, you need every second to tick away. Because your life, it's all you got. Only a small number of CSA people coming from spawn, so their rate of death was pretty low up to this point. Somebody said in chat, 500-man dunkers. Dude, you're gonna have just a thick, solid CSA line all the way across. We're not gonna win that map. I've already consigned that map is the Torment Nexus for CSA, but we'll get close. Pretty significant melee going on in the middle here. Looks like one of these groups. Yeah, that was a melee. I thought that was an artillery shot for a second because I saw so many dead Union bodies, but you see all those dead Union bodies? There's like 10 CSA guys who died. How'd they die? How'd so many of them die? What happened?
What happened?
I don't even know what happened. But either way, I mean, something like this, it's gonna happen. You can afford a bad melee if you're already winning. When you stop winning, that's when the bad melee becomes a bad decision.
It all matters on the situation. Who would have thought?
I feel like that goes in Sun Tzu's The Art of War.
What is it? CSA's been able to hold this out for a while. That's something I didn't think of, is that since there's a lot more defenders, they can hold out and last down for a lot longer. Union has a lot of time still.
Yeah, there's no longer the paradigm of when you go last stand final push, you don't have a long amount of time to really hold them. You only have so long and so few men. And I remember when you would go last stand final push, and we only had 150 guys. It's not fun. Certainly not fun. Pride Virginia now up to 35 downvotes. He was a little unhappy about the downvotes, saying some very mean things in the chat. Hey man, it happens. Part of being an officer server.
That works. You're losing the round so people get mad at you and then downvote, and then you scold them for downvoting you, which I don't blame them for. But
Never scold people for downvoting you, because that's how people
downvote you
how
more.
people downvote you more. Now they're talking about 14 left to downvote. It's like, he hopped off the slot.
Well, 4 minutes left. Union's charging on both flanks right now.
He hopped off the slot, but hey, it happened. Oh no, he didn't hop off the slot. He got demoted. Never mind.
The gamer lies.
It happened.
He lies.
Yeah, I'm.
No, sometimes
He's such a snake.
It won't show. It won't show it sometimes on the tab screen. If someone.
You knew the gamer was a snake when you let him in.
All he came here to do was talk about Zapstar and the cult.
Yeah, I can see Agrippa in the in-game chat saying thanks for streaming. Thank you, Agrippa. We're big fans of the Agrippa Line Network.
It's going to become everyone's line network after this.
I mean, it's the Eagle Line Network, the Agrippa Line Network. Those are the only two networks I've come up with.
Sussy Line Network.
Sussy Line Network. I forgot about the Sussy Line
That's
Network.
an old one.
That's a real old one.
So 3 minutes left. Union's almost down the final push. Not a whole lot of CSA left. Gamer, what are your thoughts for the round?
I think this was a nail biter of a round. I think CSA is going to have a chance to put him in the final push, which, honestly, if you get a round that's last stand final push, I'm going to be honest, I don't think you should be downvoting, the officers for that one. I think, you got him close, You got him close on a tough map. But I think some of the antagonizing, I think, got him more downvotes than the other officers, just from tracking things here on my end.
Yeah, no, great.
Hey, it happens.
It
Happens.
Happen.
This is a CSA defense map, and CSA defense is not the best on this side, on drill camp.
So, yeah, no, great. Yeah.
Agrippa saying in chat, Unit is bringing their highest level officers. We need to do the same. I think next round we're going to see Agrippa lead the CSA to a glorious victory.
I mean,
what do you think?
For those of you watching on the live stream, I'm going to at least do one more round. We'll see how I'm feeling after it, but
I mean, maybe Agrippa could hop on the Eagle Line Network.
CSA's, the last of them is charging in. We got scopes now. There's scopes in the game. Not on this map, though.
Not on this map. No scopes. They're doing no scopes on this map.
No scopes. 360. Getting
Beautiful charge. Beautiful charge.
Yeah, really, this was a great round. I wonder if the increased server pops. Oh, here comes the rest of the Union. Oh, this just looks amazing.
The game feels more fun at high server pop. I feel like all the problems that happen with games, it feels like are on lower pop. When you got 300 people in a server, nobody can be mad.
Yeah, I mean, also, seriously, this update, the increased accuracy with shooting, has removed basically all my complaints with the flag respawn issue. Because shooting is back. We're so back.
Perhaps we need to do a podcast, Eagle, about the changes. Perhaps that could happen.
The changes with the ever-changing battlefield.
The changing battlefield always changes. Make sure you get a screenshot of these casualties, Eagle, because that's going to be in the title. You're going to get 2K views. The title is just going to be casualties, 500 casualties.
Jeez. Actually, I really wonder, because the most I remember was like 3,000 over an event.
Yeah, they didn't go final push, though, for Union. If they went final push, they could get more casualties. But halfway into the round...
CSA had to win. The defender has to win for that. But anyways, with that being said, I'm not finishing the live stream. We're going to keep going, but I'm doing my outro for the recording that I'm doing for this. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Got a Patreon if you want to support us there. Discord, all that stuff is in the description. Appreciate you all. Have a good night. If you're in the live stream, I'm playing the outro, but stay tuned for more.